Hello and welcome to another video about the Kiri app that I talked about in a previous video. Full disclosure, the people behind Kiri have made me an ambassador for their app because I have been spreading the word so much with the last video, and I also said I was going to do another video, which is this one. So I'm getting the full version for 3 months for free, which is great. I had already bought the full version for a month because I was impatient and I wanted to make more models and use more photographs and all this. So I had already bought it for 1 month, and now I have it for 4, which is great. And I've been doing a lot of more models, so I have just over 50 now on Sketchfab. So I have a bit more experience, and I want to share some of the tips and tricks with you that I have shared with friends. So some of the questions came up from friends using the app. So I will share these tips with you in case you need help with this. And some of you might not, and that's fine too. You can continue watching the video or not. That's obviously completely up to you. I think one of the most important things I can give you a tip on is that you use the draft function. So if you're finished photographing, or even if you're not finished photographing and say it starts raining or you get a phone call or something and you don't want to lose all the photographs you've already done, just put it in draft instead. And you can give it a name. You don't have to give it a name. It will just be called draft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can afterwards, when your phone call has ended or when the rain has stopped, you can continue taking pictures. Also, another reason why you would want to put it into draft is that the internet where you're taking your pictures, might be somewhere very rural with very slow internet, like 3G or worse. And it would take forever to upload the model. So if you just put it in draft, you can upload it later on somewhere where you have faster internet. And I think I also said that you shouldn't interrupt the upload. You can do that. It won't continue uploading, but it will go back to where it had stopped uploading. So let's say it goes to 48% and you get impatient or something and you turn your screen off and you go back into your draft and choose the same model and choose upload again. It should continue at 48% or whatever the percentage was before, which is handy to know. Another reason why you might want to put it into draft is that you have 2 objects on the same side and you want to continue on rather than waiting for 20 minutes or whatever to upload the model that you've already photographed. And if you want to move on to the next one, for example, you just put it into draft and scan your next or photograph your next model and possibly also put that into draft. And then whenever you are in a good environment to do that, like fast internet and a cup of tea, you can upload it then, and it's not like washing a kettle boil. Another thing that might be useful to know is how you cancel your subscription in case you do go and get the full version for a month or for a year or whatever. And I will recommend, if you do that you cancel your subscription right away so you don't forget after a month or a year and you don't go into the next period of subscription. So it will still work, but you just cancel it as soon as possible. So what you have to do is you go into your Play Store, and this is for Android phones because I don't know how iPhones work because I don't have one. You go into your Play Store, you go into your account, to the top right there, and it's under payments and subscriptions. So it's the third from the top. And then the second from the top is subscription. So you click on that. And in my case, that's only that app. You click on that and you go to the very bottom where it says cancel subscriptions. It will then ask you if you want to pause it instead, and you don't want that. So you click on no thanks. And then you have to give a reason. And then after you've put in your reason, I'm not sure if you have to give one, but it might be useful for them to know, you click on cancel subscription again. And you see at the top there, it says cancelled now. So that's all. When you haven't edited the model at all, opened it in the Kiri app, it'll just use the first photograph you took of the model as a preview. But if you go in and adjust the rotation as best as you can, I know it's not very easy, and then go back to the regular view, the list view of all your models. It will show it in the last position that you had it in before. And I'll show you again with another one. To move a model on your screen, by the way, you have to use 2 fingers, in case you hadn't figured that out yet. You move 2 fingers parallel on your screen, that moves the model. And that's all the previews there. And they also get a black background then. Once you've adjusted the rotation, it will have a black background. And that might make it easier to recognize models rather than having like a very close-up picture in your list view. Something I said wrong in the last video is that you can only share with people who also have the Kiri app, so they don't have to have the app. You could just go into the model, and you might want to adjust it a little or not. And to share, you click on the 3 dots at the top right, and it'll give the option to copy the link, share by WhatsApp, Twitter, or Facebook, or to delete. Don't delete it. And that's how you can share it. And it will open it for your friend that you send it to in their browser. Why I thought that it was only possible to share between Kiri users is that in the beginning, when my friend and I shared, it opened the models in Kiri. But now it doesn't do that anymore. I don't know why that is. You can also use Kiri on the internet. I mean, obviously it's already on the internet on your phone, but on a bigger screen, which might be useful sometimes. Some things are just better done on a bigger screen. And you go to KiriEngine.app/web-version, and you have to log in. And it's very important that you log in with the same email address that you use in your app. And if you're using a Gmail address and your phone has it as googlemail.com, you also have to use googlemail.com in the Kiri web version. I didn't. I thought my email address was Gmail, ended in gmail.com, but in the app it actually ended in googlemail.com, and I bought the full version. I thought, why is the web version not showing me that I'm a fully paid member now? And so I sent them an email, and they were very helpful, and they said you have to use the same email address, and I thought, well, I did, but it turns out I hadn't, and so you have to make sure that you use exactly the same spelling. I'll log in now. I won't show you that because I don't want you to see my email address. And if you have the full version, the Pro, KiriEngine Pro, like at the top there, you can also upload photographs from any other device, like from a USB key or an SD card or whatever, if you had taken picture with the GoPro or with the regular proper, so to speak, camera. You can upload the photographs from there using the web uploader, and if you have the Pro version as well, that can be up to 200 photographs, which is quite enough for a lot of models. You can't do a whole building. There are fabulous models of whole churches and stuff on Sketchfab. You can't do that with just 200 photographs, but if it's just OM stones or stuff that's actually really only 2D, like an armorial plaque, where you don't have to go around the whole model, and also depending on the size and the details on the model, 200 is plenty. I've only done one model with 200 photographs, the Farengate in Kilkenny. I could have used more, but I also could have used a ladder or a drone, because big things like that you want to take pictures from the top as well, which you can't of a town wall gate without a ladder or a drone or a very long selfie stick or something like that. So it's not my best model, but it's still interesting. Anyway, so you can do the upload there, and then you can also go to my model on the left, and that should actually be plural, should be models, because it'll be a gallery of all your models. And the same thing that I said about the app preview is true here. You have to, if you want a nice preview like the first 3 are here, you want to go in and adjust the rotation and things like that. Maybe you don't want to do that. What you can also do is you can do the whole cropping process. So if you have uploaded your models and you're sick of the small screen and you want to continue on the bigger screen, you can do everything that you can do in the app online. So you can do the cropping, which I find a bit easier on the phone, but maybe that's because I started off on the phone. can do the cropping, and there's some light adjustments that you could do. I have never used them because I usually do that on Sketchfab anyway. And you can also rename them. So let's say this one here. Usually I delete the original model after cropping, so I don't get confused about them. So let's say here I scanned the south door of the church in Callan. It's not perfect, it's not complete because again I couldn't go in, so it's only the one side. But I had deleted the first version, the pre-cropping version, so this is still called edit 1, so I could just change that by going into the 3 dots where the menu is hidden and go into edit and just change the name there. You can also change the label. Mine are all art and heritage, but there's also lifestyle and others, people and creatures, and nature and plants. And then that has that changed. You can also share from there. And that will just give you a link, and you have to paste that into your email, WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever you're using. Twitter, Mastodon. And I also use it when I have a model on Sketchfab that, like this one would have been way too big. It's 140 something photographs. And that is too large to upload to Sketchfab. So I only loaded the low poly to Sketchfab, but I linked on Sketchfab using this link here. And if you have a mouse, I don't know how the touchpad works because I always work with a mouse, computer mouse that is. The other one has moved out from the kitchen. To move the model on the screen, you use your right mouse click. Oops. Well, it depends on your settings on your mouse, but usually people have that as the menu mouse click. So that is much clearer. Oops. Here than it is on Sketchfab because it's the low poly on Sketchfab. So this is how you share. And see, now it has also kept this preview from when I opened it last. And you can also download from here. So you can kind of skip the export step here by just clicking on download. It will export and download in one step. You can embed, which I haven't used, and you can also delete, which I would not recommend because once they're gone, they're gone. And then, there's some tabs up here as well. Queuing, processing, succeeded, failed. Thankfully, none of mine have failed so far. And then there are also tutorials up here, which I have never clicked on. And they also have a Discord community, which I have also not joined or clicked on. You can also change the language to French, and I presume that's Chinese. I don't know. If you speak the language, you will know. And there doesn't seem to be a public gallery like there is on Sketchfab, but that is fine because it makes you buy the full version to export and upload to Sketchfab. And for now, that is kind of still free. There are rumors that it won't be forever, but we'll just find an alternative. So keep your models on Kiri, and in case you need a backup copy, just in case. And that's all about how to use the web platform of KiriEngine. And I hope you found some of those tips helpful. And the next video, hopefully, will be about mapping again. But I'm still very thrilled about this app, so I had to do another video about it. Thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you again soon. Slán go fóill!